Good thing we don't have to work tomorrow. That's the best part of this kind of late night podcast. Oh yeah, sorry. What time are you going? You open?
Yes.
Okay.
You already bought lunch.
Welcome back.
Where are we at?
Welcome back. We're here.
Where?
We took some time off. I got sick. I'll be honest.
Life happens.
Once a year now, ever since 2019.
Ever since 2020 happened?
I get a sickness once a year.
It's almost... No. Okay.
Just once a year. And it slows down production.
Yeah, almost like the same time of
So
year.
I'm happy that we're back because my channel, the channel that we have, looks like only crumble cookie content.
That's what it is.
That's what it's been. But we're here, some nerd stuff. We're back. We don't have any retro stuff, which I know you guys like retro stuff.
Here.
There's nothing. That's not retro.
That's Master Chief.
That's not retro.
He's retro from 2005.
Is that one Master Chief?
I don't know.
I don't think that's Chief. I don't think that is Master Chief. Anyways, you don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, we have a great show.
Why do they make it look like Master Chief?
Because there's Spartans. There's more than one kind of Spartan.
There needs to not be.
Oh my god. Anyways, you don't even. There's a ton of Spartans.
Well, there
used to be kind of one.
There needs to be Master Chief and Kratos. Those are the only Spartans that matter.
That's good. That's a good reference.
Oh, Leonidas too.
Leonidas? Yeah.
He's lit.
There's a Leonidas reference in God of War. Did you hear it yet?
Probably.
Mimir asked him if he was a part of the great battle at Hell's Gate, and he goes, "I spent many years wishing I died in that battle," because a lot of Spartans died, his brothers. Anyways, this week we're gonna run through some news.
Damn, so Kratos was in 300. That's mad.
No, he wasn't in 300.
No, because him saying that implies he survived the battle.
No, he missed the battle.
No,
that's the implication, that he missed it. And like he felt like shit for a long time.
Wow.
Anyways, we're gonna get on. We have some God of War. We're gonna talk about God of War Ragnarok. Again, we both were really into. I have finished, and this dude has not finished it, and it's been a long time.
Wow. So
and then
Spartans have really good sick time then, because Kratos just took a sick day that day.
Yeah, he just took a sick day. I don't know. Maybe he was busy killing a god, or he was on a boat or something. Well, never mind. We can't get into fucking actual Greek mythology right now. We're gonna talk about Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
R.I.P. our king. And then just a bunch of random news. And we hope you enjoy it. Make sure if you want to see more of this, hit that like button.
If you don't I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Hit that subscribe button.
If you don't subscribe, I'm gonna.
Because we enjoy bringing you this content. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Adios. Enjoy the show. We're out of here. You ready to go? Bro, there's a lot that's been going on. There's a lot that's been going on.
Nothing is going on.
There's so much news. There's so many things we're missing. We'll get to the big stuff in a minute. But, they just watched the intro. Another.
What intro?
The intro. The intro. But,
the wintro?
So... It's mini news. It's mini news time right now because I don't know if you even heard about all this stuff, but I want to get your take on it. There's so many weird things that have been going on. There's unnecessary people getting upset at people.
Of course.
Maybe it's, I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it's necessary or not necessary. I turned off the air conditioning. You can still hear it. It hasn't turned off yet. But whatever. I already turned it off.
Just punch it in the face.
There's only one way to turn it off, and I turned it. Okay. So the first thing that's going on, that's dumb. Well, I guess you'll tell me what you think. Mm-hmm. So there's that new Wednesday show on Netflix. And that girl, they're making her do like 1 million interviews. They're just pumping her out to everything. Millions of interviews.
That's because the internet is just talking about how hot she is.
She's really young, so I don't have a thing on that. But anyways,
that is what it is.
That's what it is.
It's all over TikTok. It's all over Twitter.
Oh, is it? How pretty she is?
That's what it is. Yes.
Well, she is also in trouble.
Why?
Because she admitted to that big old dance scene. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't finished the show. But the dancing scene that she improv, she filmed it and she had COVID. Oh. And people are really turning on her.
Who?
This is Jenna Ortega. Oh! But people are saying she was irresponsible. Then people are saying the studio is irresponsible, but they didn't have a positive test yet. So,
well,
she was working with symptoms.
Both things are true. But with how the show is going, you think anybody in that studio cares right now?
No.
You think they even care a small amount?
No, I think it was like the biggest opening on the English market ever.
You think they care even a slight amount right now?
No.
Okay.
I think people who are on the internet act like they care.
I think that people on the internet in general should stop being offended for people who aren't offended.
Good luck.
See, like, if it was me and that was my coworker, I could be like, damn, I would have loved to not be exposed to COVID. That would have been nice, right? But I don't know none of those people. I've never met them, so why should I care? And like I said, with how that show is going, do you think any of them care?
Now, no. For sure, no.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Not one person cares. So, let's move on, as they should.
Okay, and we shall move on. I know you've had to see them because everyone's using them as profile pics, the new AI generated stuff. Mm-hmm. You send in $8. The destruction of art, or the new version of art. I was playing with it the other day. They have like some of the free app. Well, they're not free. They're actually very expensive. Like you get like 3-day trials, and they're like $8 a week on Google Pay.
For what?
For their text-based prompt AI imaging things. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get anything to come out good. There was some weird. It would just come up with some just these weird concepts.
Yeah, I have a coworker who made the YouTube videos like that and TikTok.
Oh, he's been on it.
That's just like what would it look like if Kanye West made a Jordan 3, and then he gets the image, and then I'm gonna give some of your steals away, but it's all right. Like you're saying, he'll go in and he'll tweak the colors, make it look like he thinks it should, and then puts it out, and there's a TikTok.
Yeah, because
there's a YouTube video, there's a YouTube short.
What it gives you sometimes is like demon pictures. It's very creepy AI? Looking. Yeah, the AI, like it's like real broken.
Just every time you do that, just think of Ultron.
That we're just teaching it. That's what I felt like. I was like, I'm feeding it all these things and trying to make it do something weird, but millions of other people are doing the same thing at the same time. Just
think of Ultron. That's what you need to think of.
But people are upset. They're saying that it's going to be the end of art.
That's such a stupid thing.
But I guess they say that every time a medium changes, huh?
Yeah. Well, think about it. Are self-driving cars the end of driven cars?
People they say that.
Yeah, but then there's going to be people that are what? I want to drive. I like driving. Yeah. I'm going to keep driving. The same way that those people are going to be like, I like art. I'm going to keep doing art. Then the people that are going to be like, I want to buy someone's art that someone made. It just feels more personal when someone makes it.
Yeah.
I can look at it and it just feels more personal.
We have some custom pieces here.
So I'm being sarcastic. I'm in a character.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm saying
I do like some custom
But the fact that you feel that way proves my point. That there's always going to be people who feel that way. So it can't be the end of something if people are going to still feel that way. Stupid. Next.
Bro, you're running through. You're running through all this shit. You ain't even worried about any of these people. That's funny.
Well, that's because there's nothing to worry about.
I'm not worried either. Where's your iPad? Where's your cool iPad?
Charging.
Oh. It's charging. That's my bad. Oh yeah, Liver King. He was exposed. No one cares.
Damn, that's crazy. Did you know that the sun came up today? Wow.
No one
that
cares.
Is some crazy stuff.
Oh, because as a sports fan, did you have a take on that LeBron James question about Jerry Jones?
Yeah. Well, there's two things about that. Number one, I understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Number two, as a reporter, I understand why they wouldn't ask him those questions. Right? Like, so do you know the full situation, or you just? So
Jerry Jones was in a picture.
Yeah, he was in a picture of
like in the '60s or something.
One of the most famous civil rights moments ever.
Yeah,
is when in Little Rock they were trying to stop the schools from segregating.
Yeah,
or from desegregating. Insane moment to be a part of, by the way. Kind of proves that those black and white pictures really weren't that long ago. But anyway, that's not the point that people are trying to make. The point that they're trying to make, or the point that LeBron said was like, You guys were quick to ask me about Kyrie. Why won't you ask me about Jerry Jones? See, a couple things with that. From LeBron's perspective, let's call it a spade. He wants to play with Kyrie on the Lakers at some point.
Yeah.
So him defending Kyrie is very much...
Oh, is that what this plays? Is that a play?
That's I just call it a spade. It's definitely strategic in some way. The next thing is I think that it would have been a lot more fair of a question if you would have said, why aren't you guys asking Dak Prescott about this? Why aren't you asking Ezekiel Elliott about this? You know, people that play for the Cowboys. Because then
that makes
at
a lot
least
of sense.
NFL players that would be like, because Kyrie's a basketball player who has history with LeBron. So if you ask them, asking LeBron about Kyrie,
It makes
more sense, especially because it was after game reporters, and those are all local reporters, LA beat reporters. So them asking him about Jerry Jones, it's important to LeBron because LeBron has a history of civil rights stuff, but it's not important. It's not as important in this bubble.
Yeah.
Because journalism is all about a Venn diagram. It's like the audience you write for, the person who you're interested in, and then it's everything in between. And so the LeBron was like the civil rights stuff, but over here on this side is the Lakers and stuff that's happening in LA that those reporters care about. And so I kind of understand why they didn't ask him about that. But like I said, if LeBron would have been like, you guys should be asking the Cowboys players about this, I feel like everyone would have agreed.
Oh, that would have been a better thing to say.
Yeah.
They didn't kind of looking like he's pouting.
Yeah.
Almost.
Then that would have made more sense. But
that's more adult than the adults.
Yeah, I just think that, but they should have been asking because that story was just swept right under the rug. It was just like it was here. Everyone was like,
I think he said that he didn't know what was going on and he just was kind of there. But would you, if you were there, like, would that be what the whole town is talking about? All the white people are like, they're about to segregate or integrate the schools.
I feel like what's happening. I don't think that's really quite accurate.
Yeah, that's what he tried to play.
Because if he would have if he would have been in the crowd, like fourth row, second person, and like the crowd just opened and they were able to see his face in it, and they were like, "That's Jerry Jones. That's crazy. He was there." Okay, he was in the first row. You gotta try to be in the front.
You gotta try to be in the front.
You can do a concert. You gotta try to be in the front. Right. So, were you just there? I don't know if I completely buy that story, Jerry. Especially because in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones has hired 43 coaches. Like, every coach, not just head coach. And only 5 of them have been black. And so it's a thing that people are talking about where it's like, I don't know that I believe Jerry Jones is racist, but he definitely has implicit biases that lead to his decision making, and that's the core. But people, that's the core of the problem.
That's not I feel like that's not as horrible as a thing to say as people put it on. That people have biases. Yeah. Of course. Like, that's not that big of like, it's a big deal. Like, you shouldn't like.
Well, it's a big deal when if you walk down the street and you see someone who's on drugs and they're kind of tweaking, no matter what color, just to not make it a race thing, and they're kind of on drugs and they're noticeable, and you kind of walk away or like just ignore them, then that's a bias that's like, okay, like understandable. But when you're the owner of the Cowboys and making decisions, those implicit biases shouldn't be a part of it. It should be who's the best coach. And every black player in the history of the NFL, none of those people, 5 of those people were the only ones that were fit to be a coach. Like,
it's tough out here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we? That's where it becomes an issue. It's not that he can't have those biases. It's that if you look at it, there's at least a seemingly direct correlation between that and his hiring practices. Especially because he's been one of the people that's been like championing against the Rooney Rule, and the Rooney Rule is like you have to have interest in black coaches, so you get if you interview them, if you do this and that, and he's been against that, saying that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, and it's about connections and stuff like that.
So
and
he
it's
wants
like,
people who are connected to the people he talks to.
Yeah, and who are the people he talks to?
White people.
White people, right? And so it's kind of just like, yeah, Jerry, that's the point, is to avoid that. That is, you hit the nail on the head there. There it is. So that's that situation.
Dang, you did over. You've been thinking. You haven't just been out here going to work and not thinking about these situations.
Why?
Huh? Huh? What? So we did last night. It's fresh for us. Game Awards were last night. Mm-hmm. There was a bunch of gaming like.
Game Awards are stupid, by the way.
It is stupid. The whole idea of the Game Awards is stupid, and I think people only watch it for new game announcements. So we got Death Stranding 2, which I don't care because I haven't even played Death Stranding 1.
I'll play the first one eventually.
And then
it's a free game.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's on the service now for PS5. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, dual lightsabers, not just a single one. And then they showed off the Kylo Ren hilt, so you could do that too.
Where's that?
That's like where it comes out the sides a little bit, like a long sword.
Oh.
And then
I hope the game is better. No,
that was a cool game. That was a good game. I really like that game.
But it's just so bare.
Well, it was their first run. So
yeah,
I mean, think about later we're gonna talk about God of War. Like you know, maybe the first one, you know, you do a more singular story, and it's very focused on what kind of animals and what kind of thing you're doing. And this one, more expansion.
I really like that game. I'll buy that.
It was a
when is it? Did we get a date?
I don't know. Let me see. I think it was just March release. March 17th.
Well, I hope that game doesn't look as dog shit as the first one.
What do you mean? Oh,
the first one looks horrible.
Oh, yeah, but it was made only for last gen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, no, because even when they did the PS5 port, because they did like an update, like just like with God of War,
it had a weird style where like it would get real grainy.
It looks
yeah, I can agree with that.
Absolutely.
It looked for steals, it looked nice, but with the movement, it looked a little off.
No, even when you paused the game and it was his character, he looked horrible.
It was some weird. I don't know what it was.
And
I know what you're talking about.
The only thing I can think about is maybe it's Star Wars, so it's supposed to be like a hologram. But if that's the case, they did a really horrible job of making it look like a hologram. It just looked horrible.
There's a game called Judas. They did a reveal trailer. It's very Bioshocky. Like there's a guy, you're shooting one hand, you have powers of the other hand. But it's in space. But it's not by Bioshock people. It may be like inspired by, but it's not. And then Hades 2. You didn't play Hades. That game is really fun, exciting about that. But there was one thing. Oh, a kid trolled. He got on stage.
Mm-hmm. What did he do?
He like talked on the mic when somebody won.
Wow. Kill him.
The two big things that I think the only awards that like people even really looked at is like the best. I don't know if it's best male performer or best performer. Of course, the dude that did Kratos won.
Of course,
because he's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. He's only even better in the second one. There's like the most like full-fledged Kratos character. Boy. And then I know you. I heard you mention it earlier. The Dark Souls game won.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring won Game of the Year. It's fine. People like that game.
It's like, why do I have to read every piece of paper? Imagine having to pick receipts up off the floor and when you go places to understand what's going on in the world. That's that game.
I mean, I don't care because I'm not gonna play it.
I played that game, and on the Xbox, I put in a solid 12 hours, and I was just like, yeah.
Oh, on Elden Ring, you did? You gave it a good go.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm. Because here's the thing, we had this talk with Zelda, right? At least on Zelda, I knew what I was supposed to be doing. Like, you're supposed to go to this place, and then me finding that place is one thing, right? If I'm bad at the game, I'm bad at the game.
Yeah.
But with Elden Ring, it was just like...
I heard it's very... You're just wandering.
Yeah, if you go this way, you're going to die. If you go that way, you're going to die. Figure it out, bud.
It's like you're just traveling boss to boss, basically. And you're just... Oh, okay, there's a big guy. I guess I'm supposed to go over there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like... But here's the... it's just like Zelda where it's like everything kills you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Elden Ring is worse.
I have no desire. I don't like those games.
It's horrible.
I don't like those games. They don't.
And you can't say I just don't play Souls games because I played the Star Wars game.
Yeah, the Star Wars game is really fun.
Played God of War.
But that's not. That's not the same thing.
But like, I don't have a problem with those type of games. It's just in my video games, I like to know what I'm supposed to do. At least what I'm supposed to be doing. If your like objective is to do this thing, and then you make me figure out everything else, at least I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Not like that. Where it's like it's like the horse that you can get. Mm-hmm. Like there's a horse that you can get that takes you around. Yeah, nobody told me that. It's in like the first area you're supposed to go to.
But they don't explain it at all. I did that
6 hours in, and it's like, oh, so if I would have went to the right after the intro place instead of going to the left, I would have been in a much better place. Wow.
Well, I felt like that. I felt like that on Star Wars. I accidentally walked into the area where you get the double bladed, like the first time I was at that planet, and a lot of people like have to go back and look for it. And it's just I happened to be more exploratory, and I went and looked. But yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna. I don't. Good. I'm excited for people on that.
That's the opposite.
Where you happen to find something instead of having to find something to make the game better.
That would be like in that game if you didn't have a lightsaber at all. and then you get through this whole game and you're like, this game is hard. It's just running and trying not to get killed. And then you find the lightsaber.
And you're like, oh, this is...
on the third planet.
Why did they tell me? Oh, and something that you'll be excited about, which reminds me of one thing we're going to get into before we get into the main topics, is there's a new Transformers game. Transformers Reactivated, but it's an online action game. An online action game is coming to PC and consoles. Reactivate will tell a new Transformers story and will let players fully immerse themselves in the universe like never before. The trailer was like a CG first-person thing where it was a yellow Transformer, so I'm assuming Bumblebee or something. You know, because
don't get too excited.
But
it might not have just remade Fall for Cybertron.
But no, it has humans in it.
No, I'm not saying they remade it. But if they just made another game like Fall for Cybertron, where it's like a shooter in the Transformers universe, and you're doing Transformers things, but it's a shooter.
The trailer is humans reactivating a dead Transformer. That's why it's called Reactive. So I don't know. We'll see if it's any good. But that takes us out of. Wait, I think let me double check. That takes us out of a little ones because I do want to talk about the trailer that dropped. Yeah, so.
But I don't watch trailers.
I know you don't watch trailers, but I know you know about it.
But you know I watched this one.
You did watch it?
Of course.
Freaking okay, Transformers, and they're bringing in the Beast Wars Transformers into what is it called again? Rise of something or
Rise of the Beast?
Rise of the Beast or what?
Yeah, Rise of the Beast. It's gonna be lit.
Dude, I'm like...
Mirage is the main character.
Yeah, it is Rise of the Beast. I thought you were joking.
No.
So this is set there in the 1990s.
That sucks.
Well, no, because that other one was like in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So they're doing their timeline. Their own timeline.
Why would they do that?
I'm a mild expert a little bit on Beast Wars. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they're going to connect it.
Cheetor.
Beast Wars is... set in the future, but they black hole themselves or accidentally end up in the past, and they have to maintain the timeline. And the Autobots are already crashed on Earth, like what is it called? What's their ship called? The sea. The Ark. Yeah, they're in the Ark. Like one of the things that happened at Beast Wars is Megatron decides that he's just gonna fuck everything, and he just goes to the Ark and just blows up Optimus's head off.
Wow.
And then it's like a big cliffhanger, like everyone's like, oh my god, but then the next season they just fix it.
Wow.
And one of the things that happens is he takes Optimus's spark because it's like dying, and they can't do it's going to take too long to do the surgery that they have to do, and the spark will die, so Primal puts it in his, and he has this mutation where he completely changes into a new type of character. And then he gives it back, and then he goes back to sleep. They never wake up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's a nice way to end.
But it's like, so it's a weird time loop. So I don't know how that's gonna fit into this.
They're probably not gonna do that.
They're gonna do a whole different
just
thing.
gonna do like, oh my gosh, it's a gorilla. You've been here for so long. You know there's cars, right? What's a car?
And you know you're like 3 stories tall. Well, they're usually smaller than the Autobots, the Maximals.
Well,
The Maximals and the Predacons.
From the one that we saw in the trailer, it don't look like it.
It's I'm hella fucking excited. I forgot that this was coming. I just everything going on, and then when I seen the trailer, I watched it. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for a new Transformers.
I've been hearing about it. It's in my YouTube feed, but I was like, okay, whatever. We'll get it when we get it. And then it's like, oh, they actually did something cool. Okay.
You said Mirage is the main character. You know who he's voiced by?
Pete Skeet Davidson.
Pete the
So
Skeet.
stupid.
That's funny.
Guys, I'm about to transform.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, I'm gonna transform. Look over there.
I'm a Transformer. I'm gonna go get high and I'll come back. That's freaking hilarious.
So stupid. Well, there's another popular person that's RC is gonna be Linda.
Oh, the singer guy?
Mizukoshi.
Oh, yeah.
RC is Linda.
Yeah, it's RC, but they spell it out.
Yeah,
That's funny.
ARCEE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage just Scourge.
Yeah. Just a good joke.
Huh, I mean, it's cool. I'm excited. Let's go.
They're actually trying something with voice actors to make them actual actors.
What do you mean?
For the Transformers, the actual actors.
Oh, they're getting actual
instead
actors.
of just like regular
voice acting is acting.
No, but I'm. I will flip this chair.
Please don't.
I will flip the table.
Please don't.
You having me here is a privilege. Talk to the camera by yourself. Read off what's going on the laptop to the camera.
I don't know if I could do that. That'd be really awkward.
Anyway, they have notable actors instead of just voice actors. And I don't think it's going to work out.
You don't think so?
No. Because think about it. Who's Donkey to you?
Eddie Murphy.
Exactly. He's not Donkey.
No, he's both.
Oh, he's not. He's Eddie Murphy.
I don't know. I can go both. But I know voice actors.
Oh yeah? Who voices SpongeBob?
Oh, I know who he is, but I don't know his name.
Exactly.
I know his face though.
That's my point. Is like.
It's so you're saying it's better if it's just a blind person that you don't know who they are.
I would much rather them just be like Cybertronian voice 1, Cybertronian voice 2, because if I'm supposed to be, think about it like this: if I'm supposed to be in that universe and it's a Transformer, I don't want there to be a human that I can put to a Transformer.
Well, it just takes you out of it, huh?
Yeah. If it's
what about the guy who does? So you don't know the guy Peter, whatever his name is, who does Optimus Prime. You don't know who he is.
He's Optimus Prime, and that's it.
In your head?
Yeah, I don't know him from anything else.
Oh, okay.
He's Optimus Prime.
He's done a lot of Optimus Prime, but he has those other things.
Exactly. He's done so much Optimus Prime.
Hey, that's a good gig, though.
It's just like aliens from space. They come in, and they're aliens, and they like to transform as cars and stuff. And then it's like, well, wait, this one, that's Pete Davidson.
Oh, okay. I haven't
This alien sounds like Pete Davidson. That's crazy.
That really bothers you, huh?
It does, because it's stupid. This doesn't make sense.
What about, like, Mark Hamill?
Who's that?
He's Luke Skywalker, but he's also the Joker, like the good Joker, and he's played him in, like, the Arkham games. And he's also the Fire Lord in Avatar, and he does a lot of voices.
I'd have to hear it.
It's like it's like the most famous Joker. The Mark Hamill Joker is like the one they did in the animated series, and he became a staple.
Well, do you know it's Mark Hamill?
Yeah, well, I do.
No, you don't.
What are you talking about?
You don't.
Oh, like, I can't believe I have to show this to you.
But also, it's not the same thing.
Just listen.
It's not the same thing.
Let the good times roll. You know the thing.
That's the.
It sounds nothing like Mark Hamill.
It doesn't sound like Luke
Sounds nothing like Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker. See, if they do that and I don't know it's Pete Davidson, I don't care.
But those are real. He's a real voice actor, like a real voiceover actor.
If I don't know it's Pete Davidson, I don't care. Right, just like
Was he in the trailer? Could you hear him? Did he talk?
just like how in the Marvel universe, the guy who played Cable, not Cable, the villain in
Thanos?
Deadpool.
Well,
In the second one, the villain.
the villain was the kid in Deadpool 2.
No, it wasn't. It was
Or that was
the time
Deadpool
person.
1. That's Cable.
No.
Yeah. Cable's a dude from the future.
Who's the metal guy then?
Colossus.
I'm tripping. It was Cable. The C's confused me. So, the fact that Cable and Thanos are the same person doesn't bother me because they're nothing alike.
That's true.
Like, I don't hear it when I think about that. So if it's like that and it's not noticeable, don't care. But if it's literally just Skeet Davidson with with a Cybertronian twang in his voice, I'm gonna be upset. So
I'm
prepare
upset.
for it.
Okay. Pete Davidson, you better. Well, okay. Well, what about on the Mario movie? Is it good? Does the Chris Pratt voice bother you? Because it bothers me.
No, because Mario isn't real. And that's the same
You have
thing.
so many sub.
No, but listen to the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Just like that, like there's no premise of Joker like being real. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The Joker's a fictional character
Yeah.
who's a human,
Yeah.
right? So he can sound human, and it makes sense.
Oh, it's just with alien
but
people.
it's an alien that's supposed to be a robot. Why does he sound like a person?
But
and
what
a
if-
person that's on Earth that I know. So
Okay.
when you say about who did you just say?
And Mario and
Mario,
and
when
Chris,
the
one
only
of the
thing we've
Chris's.
really heard from Mario is "Let's go." Like there's one or two lines. He doesn't have like an established sound, and like my niece, when she's old enough to watch and understand that movie, that's gonna be what Mario sounds like. And so it doesn't really matter. Mario doesn't have a voice. He has.
No, to some people Mario does have. Some people are taking it really harsh that the guy who does the games isn't voicing the movie, but it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
'Cause what if he just let's go for like 2 hours?
No, exactly. And it's just like, you know what I think about when I think about Mario? Do do.
Do.
No.
Oh.
You know how?
Oh, when they dance at the.
Do.
I think you just showed your age so hard.
Why?
Because that was a very specific time in Mario's history where they do that.
It was it's kind of a joke, but I always do think about that. And like just stop what they're doing. They're just like do, and then they keep walking. Good times.
I'm excited about that movie, by the way.
And I play Mario games. It's a lot of clicking A, because there's no voice acting. It's a lot of clicking A.
It's almost everybody else talks except for Mario.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Or there's no
you're
talking at
giving
all.
me flashbacks to Luigi's Mansion. 'Cause it's just
Oh no!
and then Egad talks and it's just like
Oh, they do gibberish talk on that one?
yeah, or like Animal Crossing. But the Animal Crossing community is so crazy. They figured out it's just like in reverse and then sped up.
Oh, really?
So it's like Cedral.
That people are nuts. I would have never listened to it that hard to figure that shit out.
And you can hear it sometimes. Like sometimes it'll be obvious and you're like, oh, that's just reverse. And then other times it's like, no, it's not English.
I don't even play Animal Crossing, so I'll never have to think about it. Okay, so first major,
Are we talking about the people?
we're talking about it.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk like this the whole
Please,
time.
no, don't do that, please. Jesus Christ. So, okay, we'll
But I have gotten really good at it.
no, I believe you. So I guess we'll try to go through it in order, right?
What is the order?
So we'll do no spoilers at first, and then we'll hit spoilers.
But it's been a month.
It's been a month. Some people still haven't had time to watch
That is
it.
their problem.
It's no, we don't spoil.
That is
everything.
their problem.
So-
They have not watched it at this point. You did not want to watch it.
Okay, then spoilers. Right now, you're hearing it right now.
Okay, no spoilers. It is a great movie. Go watch it. We are waiting for you to watch
I
it.
can't. You cannot do that voice the whole time. I
I
cannot
don't know
handle
what
this.
to tell you. It is Wakanda
Oh
forever.
my gosh, you're
I
ruining,
don't know what
you're
to tell
ruining
you.
the movie
Okay.
right now.
There is no movie. They are
Okay.
they are actually they are watching the
Okay,
movie
spoilers.
right now.
That's the spoilers.
And I just
So,
sound like everyone on there.
I think we have to understand when we talk about this movie that it's a miracle they made this movie. They only made this movie because there's so many people who enjoyed the character, and there's so many people who enjoyed the first movie. Because everything about this movie doesn't make sense that they would even make it. We have the main actor pass away. We had him pass away in the actual movie, and now we have to deal with. Literally, the theme of this movie is grief.
Yeah, it's a sad movie.
It's a real sad movie.
Like, that's literally all it's about. It's about just
it's grief
and sadness. Like,
there's only like 10 minutes of actual like Marvel kind of like superhero type things, and even when it is, it doesn't feel good. It's not like
no. There's only one part of the movie that feels good.
Which part?
The whole scene when they're in America.
Oh yeah,
that whole section feels good until what happens.
Yeah.
Until the end of it.
Yeah. Like that's true. That's the only feel good section.
That's the only part that feels good.
Because even the final fight, it's like you don't feel good.
Yeah, it's messy.
Mm-hmm.
Not in that it's bad, but in that you feel everything that led up to that and everything that's going on with the characters still. You still feel that. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're winning. It's like
she like what's her name again? The Shuri reluctantly basically is taking on the mantle. She didn't even want to do the traditions of Black Panther. She does it. She has a horrible trip.
I think she had a great trip. No, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Okay.
No, something should say sacred.
Okay, so she had we'll just say she had a horrible trip. She came back from it and just reluctantly went into battle as the protector of Wakanda. And it's just, you feel it.
That was the best scene in the movie, though.
Which part? That part?
Her trip.
Oh, yeah.
Like, insanely good. Insanely good. Mm-hmm. And they did it so well in that it wasn't like just like a voice or something. It's the fact that
you're getting so close to just saying.
But I'm not going to.
Okay.
It's the fact that it was there.
It carries over the problems from the first movie.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie, the Marvel always has a bad guy problem. In the first movie, the bad guy problem is that all the things that Killmonger said, they did at the end of the movie. Like, you should be, but they didn't use it to like take over all the white countries, basically.
But I think that first of all,
I know. I was talking about the first movie and the problems that are happening.
If our viewers are smart, we're talking about
what's going on in the first movie and the characters that have to deal with that.
They can put strings together like sewing. But anyway, I think that if Chadwick wouldn't have passed, I still think that scene would have been in there.
I don't think so.
No, I mean not like that, but it would have been something similar.
You think he would? Like he would have made an astral plane visit,
and he would have been there, and they would have had the same kind of fiery, heated discussion about
what's right
and
for the people,
what they need to be doing, and stuff like that. Like, I still think that happens.
And then the end of the movie, it's not even satisfying, as in like everything's gonna be all right. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like Shuri is gonna maybe continue as a Black Panther only because she has to, but she's kind of not. She's not. She's let go of her leadership in Wakanda.
But I love the king. He made a great choice there.
I hope that turns into something.
And I think that I think it's a sign of understanding that some things need to change. Because it's kind of like, in feudal Europe, I was like, the kings were the generals. Like, a lot of kings have to die for us to think that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
That those things should be separate. And so that happening in Wakanda was like, that's probably a good idea.
But do you think M'Baku is not going to be a warrior king still?
I think he'll fight, but I don't think he'll be
frontline.
But he fought before, but he won't be Black Panther. So there won't be that target on him.
maybe he won't be. I don't know. Like, I've talked about this before, but there's like a Batman time in the Batman comics where there was more than one Batman, because there was one Batman doing global stuff, and then there was another Batman who was Nightwing, just in Gotham, just to make sure that like shit didn't blow up there. But
yeah, I think that's what could happen, because I was gonna say, but he also stayed up in the hills for as long as he did. So I could see him just making sure Wakanda is good until, while this multiversal stuff is going on, him being in Wakanda.
It was. I really liked the movie. I went through the emotional roller coaster, but even when I was watching the movie, I realized, oh, this isn't going to have the mass appeal that the first one did, and there's going to be a lot of people who look at the broad strokes of what's going on. This is basically, before the Marvels, this is the first female-driven superhero movie. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, this is wokey" or whatever, but it's just
literal 0% wokey.
It's just what it ended up happening.
If you just watch the movie, you won't feel it,
because none of them really want to be in the position they're in,
and none of them are like, "I am strong because I am woman." They're all just like there.
I think
it makes sense for everything.
I think if that was the case that they were trying to do, then when they had that fight on the bridge, she wouldn't have lost. What's her name? Oya. Okoye. She wouldn't have lost.
Yeah, Okoye.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have lost. No, she wouldn't have. She would have killed all of them in there.
Yeah, but she hella lost.
Yeah.
A big dude shows up and freaking knocks her the fuck out. But how does she end up winning? Oh, she has a suit. Yeah, I didn't love her suit. Let's talk about the suit.
It's comic accurate. So
it's comic accurate. I don't like. Okay, so her suit, and then what's her name? Kiri, whatever.
Kiki, I think.
Kiki Williams. I rewatched that clip, and it's not as boxy as I thought, but her suit feels like this. It feels like not, you know how Iron Man was like very humanoid and it was moved at all the limbs. Theirs feel like they don't move. They only move at the waist.
Well, they were only, what's it called, too? It was only like parts that they had. Like they were on a limited time. Remember, they built everything from the vibranium detector thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. So I don't think going forward it'll. I think once we get into, I was gonna say MK Ultra. What is it called?
The
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Once we get into that stuff,
you think it'll look more natural?
Yeah, because think about it. Tony's suit was like version 50.
Yeah.
This is version 2.
It just that was my only complaint.
Gotta let things develop.
It felt like it just felt like almost like a exosuit, like a mech exosuit.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me, which doesn't feel like, if we're gonna go for it, you're gonna be shooting all these crazy blasts out of your thing. You might as well have like a sleeker suit that looks like it moves better.
Anyway, Namor was incredible.
Oh, Namor was fucking awesome.
And
my boy was he goes, but why does he have wings on his feet? I was like, that's just because he's a mutant. That's just how it. That's it.
That's the character.
That's it. He just does. He's like, oh, I get it though. He's strong or whatever, and everybody's blue and everything. But why does he have wings on his feet? I was like, that's just it.
It's because he's part human and part fish.
Yeah, and he's kind of based off of like that Archimedes or whatever, the messenger god. So
yeah,
wings on the feet.
Incredible.
That's fine.
He's incredible. And
they played it really well.
I love learning about them. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it slowed the movie down." It was incredible.
It was necessary to show Namor is a character that is just about Namor and his people.
Yeah, and it wasn't like with that it would have been like, damn, this guy's really mad for some reason. Like, what's he so
he's
mad?
like, I'm fighting for what you're fighting for.
What's he so mad for? Yeah, it's like you got to understand that these people are heads and tails. Like they're on the same coin.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin. Yeah,
the story is about one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other one is on the other side. They're on the other side, but they're on the same coin. So it's like the coin flipped, and now you're in their world, and you're getting what that's like.
Yeah, it was an interesting way. It was hard I think for me looking at it, it had to be hard for them because we have an Aquaman movie that came out 1st. So it's like, where are we gonna take this? And then instead of doing like ridiculously fantastical, they did like Indian tribe underwater, and they try to keep it like as normal. The funny thing was like the talking was like they kind of like justified the talking a little bit in a weird way. But
what was the talking in? Wasn't it just sign language?
It was sign language for a lot of it, but then he talked to everybody, and he just talked.
Well, that's because he can breathe the air.
Yeah, he can breathe. But that's not how
it doesn't make sense sonically.
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
Not that I wouldn't think that he'd try to talk and he'd choke, but
his lungs process water the same way
that
skin ours
does
process air.
This is a weird thing.
I don't know. It makes sense.
I'm glad they didn't kill him. Jeez, I'm happy they didn't kill him. He's too important in the MCU.
No, they should have killed him.
Then the crazy chick would have been in charge.
Scratched out
the other thing too that they didn't really show are the characters that was around Namor are actually important characters that like they didn't really.
Like bodyguard number 1.
They're like, who is this person?
2.
This is the person. Yeah, this is actually like important people, but we'll see them in the future maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much money it made. I know it's not going to make $1 billion like Black Panther did.
No.
But it's just
I would even go as far as to say that don't take your kids to that movie.
Yeah, they're not selling toys for that movie.
They're not. There's first of all, okay, look, parents. There's no action in the movie. In 2 hours, there's a solid 25 minutes of action.
It's really like an emotional journey.
And 15 of those minutes is your kids are going to be wondering why Wakanda is being destroyed.
Yeah. Oh man, those water grenades.
Yeah.
All the trailers. I know you don't watch trailers, but the trailers where it shows like the water going into the throne room. It's like they're like, we're gonna flood Wakanda. How are you gonna flood Wakanda? That's way up there. I was like, how are we gonna do this?
Water grenades.
Water grenades.
Like, yeah. So just in your kids, they're not gonna understand what's going on.
It's surprisingly deep emotional stuff for a superhero movie.
Just don't.
It feels like almost like they just had to do the superhero stuff. It felt like that whole battle, instead of it being like the two armies, that it could have just been those two. Yeah. Like, we're gonna duke it out, and it could have been just that, and it would have been fine.
I mean, that's what it was. It was like 5 Wakandans were there.
Yeah, it was, and then they're just. Marvel does a funny thing is like, yeah, all these extra side people, we're just killing them. We're just killing them. We're stabbing them, throwing them off. No big deal. And now the war's over. Everyone just go home. Right. No big deal. But it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's a great movie
for people over the age of 16.
So what do you think about the last thing? After Rihanna sings her sad song and Shuri burns her funeral garbs.
Future Black Panther is going to be the son.
Yeah, and they just replaced. They recast it without recasting, which is fine. Mm-hmm. I think that was a smarter move. When he first passed away, I was like, "There's no way." And right before the movie came out, I'm like, "Okay, they could have recast it." Like I wasn't so like hung up on it before the movie came out.
Yeah, well, because the thing about it like this, even if they were planning this, mm-hmm. right? If just like everyone else, all the first iteration of the heroes were like the contracts were ending, so we're getting the new people in. Even if they planned to have his son in there, it would have just been like, he had a son. He had a son with Nakia before the blip. Like, now we understand and it's real, so now they can do that without it being like a major plot hole. Yeah. A seeming major plot hole.
Because we talked about it before, it's like, how do you not have T'Challa in the MCU? He's so important. He does a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Just dealing with a lot of different characters, a lot of different storylines. That T'Challa is he has the Infinity Gauntlet at one point. He's a part of the Illuminati. He's just a really important character. So they basically just brought T'Challa back.
And I think that what was I gonna say? I think that when the Ant-Man and the Wasp time jump happens, it's gonna be great for T'Challa.
Oh, they time jumping for that movie?
I'm guessing.
Because every time they go into Quantum Realm, it takes a long time?
Yes, I'm going with that.
Whatever. Well, I don't know. I like how that you haven't watched that trailer, but like the lady who was trapped in there, she was like, "Hey guys, I need to not be here." Like, I didn't tell you guys. There's a whole dude down here that he's trying to get out, and I managed to get out without helping him, and he's looking for me now that I'm back. She like puts her hood up, like, oh gosh. There's a lot of Ant-Men. Everybody's got a super suit. Like
that movie's gonna be scary.
It's gonna be crazy. I think Ant-Man might die.
I hope he does. I hate him. The crazy part about that is that it's not false. Ant-Man is like the only MCU movie I have not watched. I haven't watched Ant-Man. So I'm gonna go down the list. I haven't watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first Doctor Strange, Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man Homecoming, Shang-Chi, Black Widow. That's it. I've watched the rest of them.
Black Widow, the last sequence is kind of dumb, but I like the movie. But anyways, I was talking to my girl, and she was like, "Oh, there's gonna be a new Ant-Man movie." She watched the trailer. She goes, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch this one," because she liked it because the Ant-Man movies are usually more like the low-end superhero movie. Like they're like more ground. As grounded as a dude who could just make himself 3 stories tall or whatever. It's the more grounded with their heist movies and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about Black Panther too. Like, it's kind of refreshing when there's not a movie that's like, this is multiversal effects on the universe, and everything's gonna be bad, and the world is gonna end because of the multiverse and incursions, and this is your variant, and there's so much going on, and it's just like,
this is just a story.
Yeah, it's like life is going on.
I think
life. There's Doctor Strange might be in Universe 316 at this point, but right now Shuri is sad because she lost her brother and her mom and everyone else, and so this is kind of important right now, guys. So this is what
we're just gonna deal with this issue right now.
We're focusing on this right now, and we'll deal with that when we have to.
I know that the war between Wakanda and the underwater wasn't like the world was cracking.
Right.
Well, we came off a big run, right? Because they did. So we had the Endgame, and then right after that they tried to do Eternals, and then we'll skip ahead to Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man, and it is every freaking movie was like, we're about to crack everything open.
Yeah. So it was nice to just be like,
a story.
Shuri is really sad right now. We need to be with her at this point in time.
I don't think that's what we're gonna get in Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's gonna
go right back on the freeway.
I think this is, you're gonna let him come back and destroy everything. Didn't I kill you before? Okay, so the last story, which we won't finish. We won't talk about the end of it because you have not finished.
Petition to make this really quick.
Okay, what time does it say on there?
I can't see that far. 37 or 57.
There's a big difference. I'm gonna go check it. Cause 37.
I don't mean.
Oh no, 57. You're right.
Oh, okay. I don't mean quick as in time. I mean quick as in we should have a shorter conversation about it.
Okay, we can have I don't know. We'll try. We can try to have a shorter conversation. Okay, spoilers for God of War Ragnarok right now, because we're getting into it. Because we don't have a lot of time.
No, spoiler free.
Oh, spoiler free?
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil the end for you.
No, I'm not talking about. I don't even care about that.
Oh.
Like I was trying to do with Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Let's leave major plot points out. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So
that's fine. That
opening sequence is incredible.
Oh yeah.
That opening chase is literally so good. Like, it's that game. So, the first game, it starts off slow.
Yeah, right? Way slow.
You're just kind of walking around the forest hunting. This game is like, you gonna die.
Yeah.
And look who's doing it.
It takes, because I've replayed the first one a bunch of times, it takes a long time until you get to the lake before you're finally ramping up into some actual, good fights. That one, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Right off of the jump, you get into that. And then, I'm just saying, the thing with Thor, coldest moment in video game history. Top 5 greatest video game moments.
Wait, which one? Was the fight? Just the fight in general?
No, the moment.
Oh, man, this is so hard because we're not. Let's keep the spoilers only until what's been off on the trailer, at least.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you haven't watched the trailer. We're just halfway through the game.
The quick time event that you get with Thor.
Yeah.
That incredible.
We're gonna have to have a half conversation until we can have a full conversation about this.
That's literally what I was. That's what I presented to you.
But there's so many things I want to get into with you. It's so good.
It is. But can we acknowledge that?
Yeah.
That is.
But
top 5.
That is not even. But you say that, but that's not even the best moment of the game.
If that's not the best moment, then
that game. It continues to be so satisfying. The kills, the new animations are so fun. The way that you're interacting with the characters, the amount of characters that are in the game. Mm-hmm. Just that first sequence before you even so after the chase when you get back home, just that when Odin, because Odin's in the game if you didn't play the first game.
I watched the trailers. I watched all of them to figure out the old man you were talking about. It was Odin.
It was Odin?
Like, for sure.
For some reason, I remember seeing an old man with the trench, with the thing. It was just Odin?
It was just Odin.
Man, I just made that shit up in my head.
They just darkened him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Was it fast, or did it hold?
No, he literally just opened the door, you saw him.
Oh, okay.
And then he took a step forward, like closer to the light, and that was it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like Traveler, Old Man Odin.
Oh no, it was regular.
I might have imprinted that for sure, because that's a form he takes.
Yeah, it was just darker. But yeah, Odin is so good.
It's not the way I thought it was going to be played at all.
Yeah, he's so good.
They made this. Okay, so like the Norse mythology gods, they decided to make a big difference between them and the Greek ones. Mm-hmm. Like the Greek ones are bigger than life. Their powers are bigger. It's like if you kill a Greek god, you might disrupt the ecosystem of like. There might not be winter anymore. Like you might have just fucked up everything.
Very familiar.
And so, in this one, they're smaller, but their grasp is way bigger than you would think. Mm-hmm. Like we won't talk about it, but how Odin moves through the game is so deliberate. It's just like it's almost like if somebody who was like time traveling and they knew exactly where they had to be at the right time to make everything happen.
Yeah.
It's like so precise.
Adam Sandler and Click.
So he zooms to where he needs to be, and he ignores the rest. But between Thor and Odin, they're played perfectly. Like it's basically a mob.
Yeah, how about historically accurate Thor for the win?
And people were upset about it.
Thor.
People were upset about it.
That's because when you think of Thor, you think of Chris Hemsworth.
He's a god.
Not the friend.
Not the friend.
The one. No, the ginger, who's in Asgard.
The ginger.
The big guy. You know how there's like the court of Asgard.
You mean his like friends?
Yeah, the ones who all get killed by
his
Thanos.
big friend. Yeah.
Yeah, they think Thor is Chris Hemsworth, not him.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, there's just all the characters you get to meet. It's just so exciting.
You can't tell. You can still tell what I mean. But when I was playing that game in the first part, it was like this is the difference between a game that was on the PS4 brought up to the PS5 and a game that was made for the PS5. And I don't know if because we have two different experiences.
Oh, that's true.
But
because I played on PS4 and he played on PS5.
Yeah, when I'm playing that game, I'm like, oh, this was made for the PS5. Like, there's just stuff.
Because I don't know. Like, I know. I've only watched like a little bit of your gameplay. Everything is shinier. Everything is more detailed. But I don't. When I play through it, I don't feel like I missed anything. If I ever do get a PS5, I would replay it just to see like how smooth everything could be. Because there is like sometimes like there's weird loading things that might happen, or like if I don't touch the game, I leave it on pause. I come back, like the frame rate will drop for a second while I reloads everything. I'm sure on the PS5 you have none of those problems, but like it felt nicer looking than the first game, even on PS4. But I didn't feel like I was playing a lesser. You know, like if people played Cyberpunk or whatever, on regular console versus the other one, it did feel like I was playing a dumbed down version.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's on the developers that they were able to do that. But I'm sure there's cooler particle effects and like some nice like light shadow things that I'm missing out on. But it felt really, like the whole game feels really good.
Yeah, it's incredible. They did a great job, and it's like. How do I explain what I'm thinking? It's so much better than the first game.
Oh,
as
yeah.
As far as just like... They were very scared in the first game. They were very scared. And it's like...
the whole first game, I know it's hard to remember, the whole first game plays with the idea if this is a continuation of Kratos' story or if this is a remake and it's a new Kratos and all that didn't matter. It's like until you get the blades and he admits like, yeah, I had a whole past. Until really late in the game, then they like stick to it. This one, he's just from Greece. It's like there's no play. There's a bunch of references to the old games and a bunch of like they're like, well, have you ever? Oh my God, this guy's a big guy that I've killed. He's like, no, I've killed bigger.
Yeah, like it's.
There's a line he says where he goes, they're like, oh, we have this guy, he's giant, it's gonna be easy to win this fight, and he goes, no, I from experience, you could have the biggest monster and it doesn't help. And it's a reference to God of War 3 because I think he has Gaia,
Gaia,
and then Gaia doesn't fucking help at all. You fucking fall off. Like, I think that the second one ends with him climbing up to Olympus, and the third one begins with him falling off of it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And I like how God of War completely changed. Like the character Kratos has changed from like God of War 3 to
even between the last game and this game. Because all of his motive, he was in the first one. It's more he's still mourning. And he's having to deal with his son, and he hasn't had a relationship with him. He's always gone hunting. He's always gone. So, and she was raising him basically. Now he's mourning. The kid's annoying, and we have to do this task that keeps growing every time we get closer to the thing. And this one, it's more he's so terrified of losing his son, and he's so willing to set his own life down for him.
Yeah,
and the son wants to save him. And it's just like they're both battling. They're both battling because they love each other. It's like the craziest story. The only thing I hate is the UI. Still,
I still like it. I like it.
The first UI is so nice. I don't like the map in this one.
I can't wait to cut Odin and Thor's heads at the same time with one blade.
Just one swipe.
Optimus Prime.
There's so many good kills. There's so many good decapitations, and I love one of my favorite ones always is when like he kicks the body up and it flips and he cuts it in half midair.
I like how for the Dark Elves, they still have some of the same they still have the legacy animations. But my favorite one now is the decapitation, but that takes off the whole. Whole like chest right here, like the whole left side. You're just like, the first time you see some of the new kills, you're just like, damn.
Yeah. There's some gruesome ones. Have you done the duel one with Atreus? So there's one where like
I just unlocked that ability before I stopped playing.
He like jumps on him and he's like punching. There's a few of them, but there's one where like he's like stabbing up, and then Atreus runs up, and they both for a half a second they both look at each other, and Atreus is so happy, and then they both stab him with their knives. There's like this half a second where Atreus looks at his dad, and the look that they give is just like, I fucking can't believe this, and then they go for the kill together.
Yeah. Bonding.
Murder. But okay, it's a great game. But I guess we'll talk more about it later.
Go play it.
You gotta finish it. Once you finish it, we'll do a real. Even when you finish it, let me tell you, the in games there's like some post game missions. Can't say anything else.
Horrible.
Can't say anything else.
Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching the shorts. This is some nerd stuff on House of Wolf podcasting. We'll see you later. Adios.